Cecil, and it's Saturday, and we are back with the third installment of building the same house in every generation of The Sims. This week, we are finally onto The Sims 3, and just like every other one of the houses, I built this on stream, and, it was good fun. I did cut out the part where I built the entire shell of the house, and then the game crashed, but, that is what it is. I know that the roof definitely looks different in every single one, but that's because for The Sims 1 and The Sims 3, I let Auto Roof do its thing because it looked fine. Um, but Auto Roof looks very different in each game, so, I mean, there's also the fact that the Sims 2 and onward have like the little bump out in the kitchen, whereas The Sims 1 obviously didn't have diagonal walls. But other than the game crashing, I also realized like halfway through the build that I forgot to install Seasons. Like I had bought it when it was on sale, and I just didn't download it. So I had to stop in the middle of stream and try and download the pack, except when I was in Origin, Origin was just offering me details. It was not giving me the download button. So I had to open and close Origin like 6 times before I finally had the download button. Because, everything EA makes works super well all of the time without fail. But all in all, this was quite fun. I do have more experience building in The Sims 3 than I do, obviously, with the first two Sims games. So I really felt like I was, in my comfort zone once I got started on this. And also, it's the third time building this exact same house. So I feel like me and this house, we know each other. We we go way back at this point, and I'm comfortable building her. This is the last version of the house, however, that will have spiral stairs because obviously The Sims 4 does not have any rounded or spiral staircases, which I really feel like they should have added when they added rounded walls. Not that rounded walls work well. They're a pain in the ass. They don't function. But I feel like they should have done that so that there would have been compatible stairs for rounded walls because you can't place normal stairs or ladders in the rounded rooms. And everything EA makes works so well all of the time without fail. um anyways, so we were playing around with some of the create a style features throughout this build as well, which obviously this is the only version of the game that we could do that in. But honestly, it was a lot of fun. I tend not to use create a style because, well, frankly, I'm a little lazy. And create a style takes time. But I was really enjoying like customizing the rugs and using create a style to make sure that my wood tones were closer to matching. And I don't know, I got really into it. I'm really starting to feel like the further we get with the build, the more room there is to kind of like play around and customize it a bit. The one thing that I couldn't find was rocking chairs. I wanted to add a rocking chair into the build, and I could have sworn that we had rocking chairs with generations, but I couldn't find it. So maybe it wasn't Generations that rocking chairs, or did we not have rocking chairs in The Sims 3? Because I thought we did. I really thought we did. I don't know. I could probably Google that, but just know that next week for the Sims 4 version of this build, there will be a rocking chair in the living room. I think there's a lot more like clutter items in The Sims 4 as well, so I feel like the house will be just a little bit cozier looking because there's just, more decoration type options and whatnot. But I feel like overall, like the overall vibe has been pretty consistent throughout each generation of The Sims, which is which is pretty much what my ideal was because you can't perfectly recreate the exact same house when, the features are different, the items are different, the swatches are different. So there are limitations, obviously, but I feel like all things considered, it came together pretty well. One of the things was that I don't have any of the packs that came with a pool table for The Sims 3. So I just ended up putting in a foosball table instead. But I don't think we have pool tables at all in The Sims 4. I have all of the Sims 4 packs, and I'm almost certain there's no pool table. Um, so we will probably yet again use a foosball table because I know that we have those from Get Together. And if we don't do that, then we'll use one of the ping pong tables from university, but there will be like some kind of game in the living room. So it'll be all good. Oh yeah, I also use Create Style to continue making the refrigerator look kind of wooden. Um, since that's how it looked in The Sims 1 and 2, but we didn't have like a super wooden looking stove for The Sims 3, so I was like, you know what I can do in Create Style is change the material that the fridge is made out of. Love that for The Sims 3. Um, but yeah, I also feel like I did a better job at making the kitchen not look absolutely massive in The Sims 3. I feel like the space is filled out really nicely. And also, I don't think that I oversized the build like I did like I did in The Sims 2. I feel like The Sims 1 was pretty decent. The Sims 3 pretty. For some reason, it just ended up huge in The Sims 2. I don't know what it was about the scaling in The Sims 2, but um, but The Sims 3 is the first game that we actually have access to toilet paper rolls. So there is toilet paper in the bathrooms at long last. Um, I know, very exciting times. um, there wasn't really a shower tub combo that had like the curtain on it in the same way that the one from the first two games and then also The Sims 4 have. So I had to do a different shower tub combo, which is like, it's okay, but it definitely doesn't look the same. And it doesn't really have that same, like, antique I don't know how else to word that vibe. So I don't love the tub, but I'm okay with it. It gets the point across well enough, and your Sims can take a shower and use the bathtub. So, it works. Um, and then going into the bedroom, we were able to get most of the same things in. I realized last week that I think there was a woodworking table in the original build, and then I forgot about it for The Sims 2. There isn't a woodworking table in any of the packs that I have for The Sims 3. I don't know if that's like a store item or what, but there is one in The Sims 4, so I will make sure to remember that when I build it on Tuesday, which will be on stream, by the way, if you would like to join us for that. If not, if you just prefer watching speed builds, that is a-okay. I appreciate having you here regardless. But yeah, so we've got the easel in there, we've got the dresser in there, and the mirror, and alt placing my beloved. Being able to alt place things in The Sims 3. I could have sworn that alt placing was a thing in The Sims 2, but maybe somehow I was just doing it badly. Oh yeah, I also decided to add a little reading nook into the bedroom because I thought that would be cute. Um, so I've got like the bookcase over there, and I've got a couple of comfy beanbag chairs next to the window. Um, and then the hallway is the one area of the house that somehow ended up being massive, even though everywhere else was like pretty decently sized. Um, so I just kind of put a rug and another bookshelf and a fish tank in there to fill up the space because I didn't know what else to do. Um, and I was like, this is so big. How did that end up so big? I don't know. Maybe it's the fact that like the spiral stairs are more tightly spiraled in The Sims 3 as opposed to 1 and 2. Because in The Sims 1, it's not really a spiral staircase. It was just like a big round staircase. Like it just kind of did like a swoop, which by the way is absolutely gorgeous. And I wish that they had included that in any of the future Sims games. I think it's very sad that they didn't. Um, I feel like they've just been getting more tightly spiraled, and so because of that, it makes it makes that hallway so big. I'm sure we'll be able to fill it with like clutter items and whatnot in The Sims 4 because again, there's clutter up the wazoo, which is great. I love clutter items. But yeah, I put a couple of like random plushy type decorations. I don't know. I found like a Yeti and an Octo cat. And I was like, yeah, I'm definitely putting these down. I think that they are adorable as a matter of fact. And, you know, the blue, it was a nice ice blue. So and the Yeti is thematically appropriate for a winter build, right? Like that's it works. I like it, so we kept it. But right now we are just going in, throwing the finishing touches on the inside before we do a quick decoration of the outside. I actually put curtains in this version of the build, and I think I'll use curtains in The Sims 4 as well. Um, and I kind of went with like an almost ugly green shade. And I stand by that decision. There's a lot of ugly greens that have happened in this build in each generation of The Sims, and it feels cozy. I like it, you know? It's ugly in a good way. But yeah, so just doing the finishing touches and throwing some mistletoe into the entryway because mistletoe is a hangable item. Uh, in The Sims 3 as opposed to The Sims 4 when they just whip it out of thin air at any point in the year to try and kiss someone under the mistletoe. Um, but yeah, so now we're on to doing some landscaping, and it's a bit cluttered and whatnot, but I kind of like it looking all full of evergreens. um, and then I don't remember why I put a roof decoration on, but I did. We got the fire pit in the back, though, which shares do slot to, like they did in The Sims 1, and our telescope that we're about to put down, and that is the build. Thank you guys for watching.